President Trump has laid out some of his plans for immigration in a letter to the Congress. It explains what he wants in return for protecting DACA recipients from deportation. Now, that program covers undocumented residents who were brought to this country illegally while they were children. President makes it clear that any deal must now include full funding for his border wall, a crackdown on sanctuary cities, and any deal must impose new skills-based legal immigration criteria and speed up deportation procedures. Joining me right now to talk about all this, George Escobar, CASA of Maryland. Ted Hesson, he covers immigration for Politico. I want to start with you. Your reaction to this from the president.
I mean, I think it's no surprise to say that we're really upset about these general principles. I think again it speaks to him feeding into the right-wing extremist, anti-immigrant. You can actually even say white supremacist parts of his party. There's no principle on there that doesn't speak to that agenda. Right. I mean, he's basically talking about bringing in, changing immigration in a way that really speaks to bringing in white people, if you could say. There's merit-based immigration on there. There's a variety of different aspects on there that really speaks to changing the way immigration is done in this country.
Ted, what are you hearing? What parts of this list of the president's likely to pass and what's likely not to see approval?
The list really reads like a wish list. I mean, it's everything that President Trump would like to see passed as far as immigration goes. I think border security measures for sure. Democrats are open to that. I mean, Chuck Schumer has said that already, that he would agree to that. I think it might get harder when it comes to these other things like speeding up deportations of Central American children. I think that's something that Democrats and even moderate Republicans won't be able to stomach. Whether there are a few measures here that could be picked out and maybe paired together in a DACA deal remains to be seen, but I think it's clear that there's no way that everything here would be included in a deal.
Democrats said that they had a deal a while back. This was not the deal.
Well, there was a meeting, right? There was a meeting in which some of these things came out. It was never revealed exactly what Trump was talking about. I think first and foremost, we in the immigrant movement were totally against using the DACA population as a bargaining chip to try to really create this border wall.
Well, clearly that's what you have here. Okay, absolutely. The Democrats definitely want protection for the dreamers.
And the question is at what
expense?
And
the Republicans know that you want it. A lot of Republicans want it also. So you are a bargaining chip.
All right, but it's absolutely unacceptable. We're in a position in which we can be stronger in the 2018 congressional race and possibly even getting rid of this guy by 2020. There's no way we're gonna accept a situation where an additional 10,000 more troops of ICE get to be hired. Again, you gotta look at the facts. Net immigration in this country is basically decreasing, and this is not just because of Trump. This is a 20-year pattern. We're seeing different types of immigrants coming into this country, basically refugees that are fleeing Central America.
Do you expect some of the sanctuary cities to fold under this kind of pressure from the White House?
I think they're already feeling the pressure, but no, I don't think they'll fold. I mean, if anything, you've seen them fighting back. Cities like Chicago suing the Trump administration over sanctuary policies. The state of California coming out and doing the same. I think they'll only dig in deeper after this. And I think it's important to remember that Congress is the one that passes laws here. And if they do come up with a deal and they send it to his desk, it might be hard for him to reject it. He might have to approve it.
Yeah, I take it now you really start lobbying very hard on the Hill, Republicans as well as Democrats.
Very hard. And another population that doesn't get looked at too much is the TPS population. Temporary protected status is a legal status that covers about 400,000 people nationwide. In Maryland, Virginia in particular, there's twice as many people with TPS than there are with DACA. And the president faces a decision in January as to whether he wants to extend that program. So along with the DACA 800,000, we have an additional 400,000 people that lose legal status overnight. And the reality is these families, these DACA youth and these TPS adults are saying, look, our status is on the line, but we will not be used as a bargaining chip for additional enforcement that's really going to separate our families.
I can't find anybody who really believes this wall is going to go up. You?
I think there also is something about the definition of a wall, right? I mean, I think both parties
now we know what a wall is. Everybody knows what a wall is. But now we're going to change the definition of a wall.
I think that it is being changed already, right? I mean, they're talking about fence as if it's wall. People are talking about wall as if it's fence. I mean, there's sort of a back and forth. I think people will not support a border wall, a wall from sea to shining sea across the U.S.-Mexico border. Will they support security measures? I believe so.
Yeah, but it's not a wall. A wall is a wall. Back in a moment.